technology license sales contract is an act by which a natural or legal person transfers to another natural or legal person a knowledge or set of knowledge useful for the achievement of commercial targets. In this contract, the licensor is the owner of the licenses and the licensed is the license holder whom the technical knowledge elements are transferred. These elements are necessary for the conception, design, construction and operation of units which produce goods and services. It means the activities inherent to the parent's right, such as the use or exploration of that technology. Therefore, the license agreement is a lease of intangible property. It is an agreement whereby the use of industrial and intellectual property rights is conferred instead of giving the right to use material goods. This contract may be exclusive or not. With the contract, the licensor doesn't lose ownerships. In the case of the license agreement, patent rights are granted for the exploitation of the results, and the licensor doesn't lose ownership of the patent rights. Whereas in the agreement, the transfer whom the property is assigned receives to the ownership of the patent right by the transferor, and therefore there is a transfer on ownerships. The assignment is similar to the sale contract, while the license agreement is compatible to a lease. Usually, subscribing a license agreement implies being part of an association, what means a long-term relationship in which the licensor and the licensed collaborate to the maximum their benefits. If this partnership is successful, both parts will benefit from the implementation of the production in the market. Socially, in the case of licensors, the most frequent reasons for entering into license agreements are the use of better manufacturing capacity, more extensive distribution networks, and greater knowledge of the local conditions and the capacity of license management. Thanks to the licenses, the licensor can ensure more efficient and easier access to the market than if he had tried to achieve it in his own. In addition, it allows him to quickly recover part of the capital investment necessary for the activity developed. Other side, the license will benefit from super technology, which will allow him to offer better quality productions or reduce costs and improve their efficiency. In many cases, the acquisition of the technology is economically more profitable without the license agreements than undeveloped. Besides, the avoid of risks associated with the development of a new technology. The most important aspects to consider are evaluate the project quality as well its scientific basis, the phase of the project developed, the existence or not of a patent, and in convergence and finally, the contract grant exclusive existence. Usually, the license is granted without exclusivity unless otherwise indicated by the contract. When it has exclusivity, it will prevent exploitation by the licensors unless otherwise indicated by the contract. In redating the term, the license agreement will be valid as long as the parent is valid, unless otherwise indicated. In prevention of the parties, the object of the license will be determined by these parties. If it is established unilaterally, it will be understood as not written. In addition, all activities in which the exploitation consists as well as the application covered by the sectors will be allowed, unless it be established in other way. However, the assignment and the granting of subventions to third parties will be totally prohibited unless otherwise indicated. Finally, in the economic point of view, the amount to pay for the license will be an initial fixed value, regardless of what happened during the exploitation. However, it must be reasonable in line with the degree of the project development. Furthermore, besides the initial fixed payment, royalties of periodic fees will be established depending on the percentage of sales figures, the profit obtained in the year of the each unit production or distributed, as well as minimum fee based on minimum quantities or sales. The cost of processing industrial property and financing new projects and collaboration will also be included in the contract. It's important that the license agreement specifies that the intellectual property rights subject to the license belong to the licensor. In such way, it avoids third parties' claim to industrial property ownership or the rights over the technology, and the licensors try to explain himself responsibility. In an intellectual project, licenses may involve the granting of several rights depending on the needs of the parties. These rights may also vary depending on the intellectual properties legislation applied to the agreements. Some of the rights usually granted, among others, are: first, to reproduce the technology, to display it, to modify it, to make works derived from it, produce new versions of the already totally new technologies, or production through modification or improvements, to use it for raising and developing new products, to manufacture or to make it to be manufactured, whatever manufactured be the licenses or on contractor, to distribute or to sell it.